All right, so after training, can you tell us where you went after that?
Yes, I went to Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and I waited to catch a ship there. And that's where they put me on the destroyer, the USS Soli. And from there, we stayed around for a couple of weeks. In fact, we had a call to go over to Rye Beach. There was a submarine, German submarine in there, and we went after it and chased it out. We never got it, but there was a German sub right there in the breakwaters of Rye.
Wow. That's so weird to think about. It's
Yeah.
like so close to home.
See, not very many people know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were there. It's a known fact.
So you stayed in like around New York for a while.
Yeah, and then we went over to Norfolk, Virginia, and we were there for about 5 months.
And what did you do in Virginia?
We were a training ship. We would take crews aboard our ship that were going to catch destroyers, and we taught them different parts of the ship. And every day we'd go out from the dock out into the Chesapeake Bay, and then in the evening we'd come back and then pick them up again in the morning, and back and forth. We had about 349 sailors on, and then we would take 349. Each man had a assigned man.
And what exactly did you do on the ship?
I was a fire controlman. It's not what it sounds like. We were in charge of all the operations of the gun. I was a striker. In other words, I was striking for a rate. And we were in charge of all the guns to be sure that they were in working order. If they weren't, we had books very thick of all the plans and schematics of all the guns and all the electrical to try to find out what the problems were. We had to be sure that they were working.
Oh, okay.
That and the gyro that levels out the ship, which no one ever goes down in there.
Yeah.
A little speck of dust would knock everything right out.
Oh my God.
So we didn't go down there too often. I went once in the year and a half that I was on there.
So you were on the training ship for a year and a half?
I was on that ship,
Yeah.
but from there we went over to the Pacific.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the Pacific.
Well, we went through the Panama Canal, which was very interesting. And we stopped at San Diego, California, and then into Panama Canal and over into the Pacific. And we were in the 6th Fleet in the Pacific. And we got there towards the end of the war. And that's when we went over to the island of Kasai, and they signed the what do you call it?
Treaty?
Signed the island over to the United States. It was Japanese owned.
Yeah.
And then they signed it over to the United States. And they did that on a ship that I was on.
And you were steering it, right?
Yeah, I was a helmsman on there, right? Yeah.
So, how did you keep in touch with your family while you were on the boat?
By mail.
By mail?
Mm-hmm.
And where would you find it? Was it like a very big change to be in the Navy than it was when you were at home?
No, I was a young man, and it's a little different. It's strange, you know. It's something that I wasn't used to being around older people. I was a little younger.
Yeah.
Younger people, you know, boys and girls, and these fellows, they were much older than I was.
So, would you say that you had a mainly positive or a mainly negative experience in the military?
Very positive.
Very positive.
Very positive, you know. I learned respect, which is one of the things that I think everybody should learn. I think we're lacking of respect these days.
Yeah.
And they do teach you respect in the service. Yeah.
And was it hard coming back after being in the military? was
Yes,
an
it
easy
was.
transition?
I rather missed it. I enjoyed myself there. I was on the ship's basketball team. I played basketball, and when we went out to play basketball, when we landed to a place where they had a basketball team, we would play, and the captain made sure that we had dinner. If we missed dinner, that we would have dinner on the ship when we get back, because we were representing the ships. And he was very big with that.
What's the biggest memory that you have of your years in the service?
Well, the war was over, and I was in Yokohama, and I met one of the fellas that I used to play basketball with on the basketball court there. He and I played basketball in Harrison together.
Does he live in Harrison?
Yeah,
Right now?
all my life. 90 years.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, and it was very thrilling. He didn't know who he didn't remember me. And I said, he just don't see me, he don't understand, who I am. And I got up and I said, Paul, it's me, Mike. Oh my God, he said, I never thought I'd see you here.
That's so funny.
And we got to play together. We played two fellas from two on two,
Yeah.
and two fellas from Pennsylvania. And we just plowed them right into the woodwork.
So, is there any messages that you'd like to share to current high schoolers or current people thinking about joining the service?
Well, not really. Like I say, I enjoyed every bit of. I made myself enjoy it.
Yeah.
I always thought positive when I was in there, and I wouldn't let myself go with anyone that was negative about it. And it makes life easier when you think
Yeah.
that way.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I have
Alright.
some pictures here, but I don't know if you can use any of this stuff.
Oh yeah, we can.
Oh yeah,
yes,
we're
we can.
making a wall to display like where you served, and we're gonna type up the interview and stuff, so we can put this stuff up there.
I have. You may be interested in it. I don't know, but this. I didn't have any copies of. This is a what do you call it? Ship's history. This is the ship
ship
that I
you
was
were
on.
on?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we'd
about-
love that if we.
We can make copies of it in the library after.
Also just take pictures.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you would be interested in the ship was in the 3 wars, so it went from 44 to 70.
Wow.
Decommissioned it in 1970, so it was in the 3 wars: Vietnam, Korea, and the Second World War. And then they used it for target practice. It wouldn't go down, so they had to get aboard and blow it up. It just wouldn't sink, wouldn't go down.
Wow.
And I was a plank owner. A plank owner is a fellow that commissioned the ship. One of the sailors that commissioned it in Brooklyn. I was one of the first ones aboard.
Wow.
They call that a plank owner.
That's really cool. So where's the ship now? They sunk it?
Yeah, it was sunk over in Puerto Rico. One of the reefs there.
All right. Well, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Right, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so